السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله الذي كفى والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد المصطفى. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Alhamdulillah, dear brothers and sisters, Alhamdulillah that everyone has this phrase on their mind, and a lot of places whenever someone decides to write a story about Islam, they start by saying Islam is the fastest growing faith in America. Now some mean it, some are concerned about it, and some are just using that phrase because they have heard somewhere. Whatever is the reason, that phrase has acquired a lot of importance for us. Now talking about the attitude, our attitude towards non-Muslims, it must be correct attitude and a healthy attitude that so many persons are realizing that Allah is the creator and He is the one we all return towards. And His guidance is the one we'll all abide by. But while it's happening, attitudes are good and bad both. Alhamdulillah, those Muslims who are learning to be Muslim in this part of Allah's land, those who are not immigrants, either were raised here or has been here for generations, they have far healthier attitudes towards non-Muslims, their brothers and sisters in humanity. But lots of immigrants, and especially immigrant organizations, have some philosophical problems and problems in attitudes and behavior. I would like to discuss that, and my invitation is to you to please participate in this discussion as some points for consideration and continue to think about it with open heart and open mind. And thinking of attitude of Muslims, I cannot forget a friend. As a matter of fact, he is a friend's father. He's 82 years old. Unfortunately, this week he cannot swim, which he swims every day because he has injured himself a bit. But last week he did something marvelous. He decided that instead of sitting at home, he would like to learn English, which is not his mother tongue, so he can talk to non-Muslims in a better way. He's 82 years old, Muslim, immigrant, and he decided to enroll in a college. And of course, he decided also that he will have his pajama and sherwani on him. He's from India. And his cap. So people start asking in his college, what are you? I said, well, I have enrolled myself here, so I learn enough language to tell you who I am. But people were not leaving him alone. And finally decided he should start telling his story, and that will be his way of learning English, which he eventually wanted to learn for the same purpose. And after a few days, he realized that there are far too many people who likes to know who is this old man dressing in a strange way and is coming every day to school and is disturbed that he cannot swim today. He went to school administrators in the college, and he said, instead of telling each and everyone separately, I like this opportunity that all the students should be gathered, and I like to tell them who I am, why I dress the way I dress, and what I believe in. So for sure, last week, when he cannot swim but he can talk, he has 300 people sitting in an auditorium listening to him, who is just enrolled there to learn English for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's a good attitude, isn't it? Say Alhamdulillah. And I remember another Muslim And that Muslim heard about somebody in Hollywood. Hollywood people make movies, as you know. And they have set formulas how to make movies. They need some type of villains, and nowadays you are hit. You are the villains all the time. So they have this siege thing now. And Kir is doing a good job on siege thing. So they advise Muslims that wherever the movie comes, what you need to do, have some dawah brochure in your hand, stand outside, give people brochure. So a president of a masjid, I wish all his congregation has gone, because there are 1,500 people pray in that masjid. But only the president, and he has one more person who believed in him, they both went together outside a movie theater. And there's a small pamphlet in their hands, and everyone who is going into movie or coming out, they're giving pamphlets. Some people who read the pamphlet about Islam before going into the movie, they came out, non-Muslims, and say, I don't want one, give me as many as you can give. I want to pass on to my neighbors what Islam is about. And he's a non-Muslim. Good attitude or bad? Say Alhamdulillah. Another Muslim, this guy from San Francisco, he's in our field, brother, who is recording there. I'm in his field, production and all that. He's a puppeteer, shadow puppeteer from San Francisco. And he decided he wanted to move around the world and see the world. Went country to country, and he was in Morocco. And he liked the food, and there were people who were feeding him. And one invited him, he started feeding quite a bit. They said, why you are staying in hotel? Why don't you move into my house? And he didn't talk to him about Islam or anything. He was just good Muslim. And you know what happened? How many of you have heard Abdul Moore's poems? Abdul Moore is that guy from San Francisco who was just roaming around the world. But some Muslim behave as Muslim, open, hospitality, and he changed the heart of a person. A person writes that I was jogging on the Nile River, not right at the top of it, probably on the side. And then I was tired standing there. Some punk from Atlanta, his jean was, torn apart or something. Some lady came by and gave something in his hand, and it was some money. And he was looking, why she gave me money? And he kept looking towards that guy, towards that woman, and woman just left. And he kept watching her. She never turned back to look at him. And he asked his roommate that this is a strange thing happens this morning. So what happened? This is some lady who was, all in that big thing which most Muslims have, probably he might have said, and just came and gave me some money and then left. And didn't look towards me, didn't say anything. And that other friend from America visiting Egypt, not everything is good in Egypt, but I'm talking about that Muslimah, that sister. He said, oh man, now I understand. You had your jeans on. You see, it's torn apart. She thought you're poor. You need some money. She gave it to you. And then why did she say? He said, well, she's giving for the sake of Allah. She doesn't want any thank you from you. And that's ayah from the Quran. When you give for somebody, you don't expect anything. Khalisatan liwajhillah. That person is a Muslim. Good behavior, isn't it? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.